Thank you for listening today on Revealing Wholeness, sponsored by Infinity Whole Health. Check out our website at infinityWholeHealth.com, where we are revealing the eternal in each individual, the infinite in the individual. The creativity is made manifest. Limitation is let go. Now, here's your host, Dr. Troy-Munson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy-Munson. I had a client today that asked me about colloidal silver. And while I do understand colloidal silver and its effects and benefits, I'm going to approach it from a completely both front and back view. I question everything. Let's just put it that way. Even the stuff that I trust, I still question. So if colloidal silver is like gold to you, I'm just going to have you put on a little bit of defensiveness here and protect yourself, because I'm going to approach it from a completely honest viewpoint, and I'm going to tell you why everything that I see with it, the good, the bad, the ugly, because everything does. I can approach anything from both sides and just rip it apart both sides, and that is really complete objectivity. I'm like a disinterested third party, which is what we're supposed to be on everything. And yet we fall in love with something, and now even with its faults, we try to defend it. And I'm just not interested in that anymore. You know what? Just let everything rest as it is. If colloidal silver can stand on its laurels, great. Then let us let it do it. But here's my take on it. So my client said that, when they asked me, I said, okay, now, colloidal silver is excellent. Don't get me wrong. It is phenomenal at what it does. But let me explain where silver came from in the beginning. Long, long ago, hundreds of years ago, we would have the super rich, and they were concerned about infection. And what they knew was that silver was anti-whatever sickness. They didn't know that there was microbes or bacteria or whatever. They just knew that if they used silver, it helped protect them from being sick or getting food, quote unquote, borne illnesses. And so that's why they had silverware. They had silver dishes. They had silver bowls. And so when they ate with silver, it helped them not be as sick as much because it is antibacterial, antimicrobial. And so let's say that I'm a silver user and I'm really enthralled with it. And I told my clients that here's my take on silver. So since we know that silver does this, then are you telling me that if I eat a McDonald's meal on a silver plate and cut the burger with a silver knife and silver fork and stab it with a silver fork and eat it with a silver fork, and maybe fries I cut up with my spoon and I spoon the fries in my mouth with my silver spoon, and I'm doing all this with my McDonald's meal, that I'm going to be of good health and not get sick? And she just started busting up laughing. And I said, now you get it. I said, the problem is that we're approaching health from an outside-in perspective when it comes to colloidal silver. While once we have an infection, it is an important aspect of trying to be antimicrobial and trying to help the body heal itself when it's now under the gun and sick. And so it's effective that way. But just to use it day in, day out, I'm going to call BS on it. And here's why. Inside our body, we have bacteria, we have funguses, we have microbes in our system, and they're there as an important part of our body systems. They're actually useful to us. They can be detrimental when our body is so ill that we cannot even overcome the simple microbes that are there to help us. But when we get sick, this is how a sickness occurs. I'm eating food that's garbage, and that garbage now our cells can't use. And the cells now are constantly being bathed in this debris or trash or garbage in our food. The chemicals, the the processed, refined, fast, canned, boxed foods that we eat with all the excitotoxins and chemicals try to make it taste better, or the denatured fats because it's been heated so that it can withstand the shelf life longer. The proteins have been denatured by the same heating process. The carbs have been completely stripped of all their nutritive value so that no mold or fungus or anything will grow on the food so that it maintains shelf life. And all it really is caloric intake for us. It is non-nutritive dense food. It is garbage. So that's what I mean by garbage food. Now, as we're eating those things, and that stuff is being absorbed by our intestinal tract because it's just the nature of the way it happens, all those chemicals are now sitting around our cells. They clog the cells. The cells don't have enough nutrients even to maintain health. So they're sickly. Because we don't have enough vitamin C and vitamin E and B vitamins to thin the matrices around our cells and tissues, now the cell matrix, the watery structure that each cell lives in so that it can get debris out, becomes like sludge, like gelatin. And so now the cells get even sicker because every time they try to open up their little portals to eject crap out of the cell, it just comes right back in. And so now the cells get sicker until they finally die. Now we have all this refuse from these diseased, damaged, dead cells, and now they begin to start infecting other cells. Now, here's the cool part. Our bodies have bacteria, funguses, viruses, all these things inside them already. It's already a complete system. And the bacteria and funguses are just sitting there waiting. And all of a sudden, they see this diseased, damaged, dead area tissue in our body, and they say, hey, I can totally help you with this. I can go in here and I can liquefy all this debris because this is what I live on. And if you look in a biology textbook, you're going to see that I'm a scavenger. I don't live on healthy tissue. I can't. It naturally resists disease because that's its design. You mean you can't make me sick? Correct. I'm a bacteria and a fungus. I can't make you sick. But if your body's so sick to begin with, well, now it's prime for me. It's first-rate material for me. And so the bacteria now invade these dead tissue areas that are all refuse, and they start munching on all this crap. And their job is to liquefy all that dead, diseased tissue, get it into the bloodstream, get it to the liver can then get it to your gut, and then the gut can get it out of you. But if you're eating crappy food, you're likely not having enough fiber. You likely have destroyed your body's ability to produce enzymes because your food was supposed to be alive and have enzymes in it. So now you've used up all of your enzymes, and now you have acid reflux. You have heartburn constantly. You're wondering why. And so the doctor gives you Prilosec or whatever purple pill, or you're taking Tums to try and help a symptom of just a deficiency. And yet the pill isn't helping your deficiency at all. It's only making problems worse because it's messing your digestion system up worse because it's making more alkaline when it needs to be acidic in the first place. And so here we have this entire body that is absolutely sick, and you wonder why I'm so sick all the time and why I have to use Colluvial-Silver, which is trying to change the environment to suit my ever-weakening immune system and body because I'm not taking care of myself. I know, it's a lot to take in, but this is how the medical system works. So if you're out there thinking, I'm a holistic person, I do Colluvial-Silver, I do all these other things, well, I'm going to tell you that if you're trying to protect the body that has become weak because you're not taking care of it in other ways, you're taking synthetic vitamins or you're just simply trying to eat as best you can on foods that are in the grocery store, I'm just going to say good luck to you. Maybe you've eliminated fast food. Excellent. It is a great first step. And so we're caught in this place of going to the doctor because now I have high blood pressure, or I have acid reflux, or I have, boils on my skin, or I can't sleep, or my brain isn't functioning and now I can't control my anxiety, or whatever condition. Now my sugars are out of control, and so I have to take 4 or 5 medications just to try to control my sugars. And all the while, all these symptoms are simply a body that has become so malnourished, so deficient, that we've got to depend on some type of medication to change the environment outside to suit my ever-weakening body. So it is completely diametrically opposed to how we approach things in the office. So all of this from colloidal silver. I know this is how my brain works. But this is truth. If I'm going to make, colloidal silver obsolete or use it in its proper effect or time, it's going to be when, let's say that I have not been taking care of myself. I've been under stress. I've short-circuited my diet a little bit, and now I've managed to get myself sick. And my body, since it's really sensitive, it says, look, we're not going to tolerate this. We're going to liquefy this tissue that's not so good, and we're going to start sending crap out into the system. And your liver better take care of it. Well, if my liver's backed up, it's now going to back up into my sinuses, and I'm going to get postnasal drip, and now I'm going to get a sore throat or a secondary sinus infection from the original clearing or cleaning that my body tried to go through. And so now I think, well, I've got a sore throat. I must have caught it from somewhere. No, you didn't catch it from anybody. It was already inside of you. And the problem is that your liver could not detoxify well enough because you haven't been taking care of yourself, Troy. It's my conversation with myself. And so then I realize, yep, you're right. Let me start working on my liver. And immediately my sinuses clear, and I work on my gut, acidifying my gut, and immediately the symptoms abate. And I now get back on track and start treating my body like I should. I know that this body is just a tool for me to walk around in. It's not what I am. It's just a house. And so let me take care of this vessel, this castle, a little better and do better with it. And so I honor it by realizing that, okay, I haven't been taking care of you very well. So let's say I get under the gun and I'm doing some colloidal silver to help. Yes, you could at that point. But to take it all the time and think that colloidal silver is going to keep you healthy, I'm just going to tell you, you have another thing coming. You've got a lot of work to do and not just using colloidal silver. So is colloidal silver a good idea? Yes, it has its merits. It is not one that imparts health on the body. It does, however, help when it is under the gun and you have not taken care of yourself. So it is a call. If you're using colloidal silver all the time, I would rather you get out of this message, you know what? I need to turn over a new leaf. I really do need to correct some dietary things going on. I really do need to start doing some detoxification better. I need to start treating my body overall better and start replenishing the depletion that I'm actually now witnessing within my body, and thus the purpose of needing to use the colloidal silver all the time. So this is my take from a holistic bird's eye view of colloidal silver. It's one aspect of a health regimen that is sorely lacking if that is our only smoking gun, so to speak. So please do look other places. Please get a lot more nutrition, and you'll find tons of great things that I talk about in this kind of manner, telling the whys and what fors and the how-tos of really achieving wonderful health, if that's what you're looking for. So I hope that was helpful. Until next time, I'm Dr. Troy-Munson.
The information on Dr. Troy-Munson's podcast is meant to educate the listener and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease.